We're here and now we're back. Hey guys, welcome. LJ here, back on the YouTube. And I found myself so excited as I realized that I wanted to do this more again, because I have done some things like this in the past and seen how fun and exciting it feels to get to share practice with you in any ways, just here on YouTube. But yeah, I haven't been doing it much for a while. And at the same time, I'm as excited as ever in my realization about how these things work for me and help me through life, especially when things feel challenging, which is often, right? So, welcome. And if this is the first time you're seeing me here, my name's LJ or Laura Jane, and I'm coming to you from Lakewood, California today. And today, if you're watching this today live, or maybe you're catching this in the future sometime when you just serendipitously come upon it, but today happens to be October 28th, a couple days after my birthday, and it's a full moon lunar eclipse today, which is, I think it's in a Taurus moon, so said to be powerful, and I'm feeling a lot of energy. And if we can acknowledge that perhaps a full moon in general is a good time for illuminating something in our lives that we want to release, perhaps, and shift and change for ourselves, alchemize, which I love to share how our yoga can be such a perfect way to help us do that. Yoga meaning practices, perspectives, and psychology that are about union, right? What reconnects us, what helps us find that alignment, what helps us take care of our energy, take care of our vibe, right? And get into that more spiritual perspective and how much that impacts our psychology. So, yoga in all its aspects, which I'm excited to keep sharing with you, all the ways that we can integrate things that can be forms of yoga, including some exercises, right? But also things like breath work, just the power of mindfulness through it all, any forms of meditation, also time in nature, time with things like candles, which I'm going to light for us right now, as part of how we're tuning ourselves. And with that, I have lots of animals back here in our yard. You might see chickens at some point. There's 3 kitties, a dog. So I'm lighting this Scorpio candle. There's Luna, the dog, kind of doing, she might knock the camera a little. But anyways, yeah, so here we are for this full moon. But if you're catching this at another time, may you drop in and enjoy. But what I'd like to do as I light this candle for us is part of our yoga practice, our time here to intentionally connect more with a sense of union, right? So, yes, we can see that our practices, though, become so important. And that's what I'm really here to keep talking to you about, is how our practices, which help us tune our psychology and our perspectives, which are such an important part of how we feel in life, right? And then, yes, it is about mind, body, spirit care, right? And awareness and a more holistic approach, which does mean doing things, right? Building in practices, habits, rituals that can help us with tuning ourselves mentally, physically, emotionally, energetically, because it's all energy, including us, right? Everything about us, we're made of energy. All of the tissues and cells in our body are made of energy. Even things like our thoughts are a form of energy, our emotions are energy, right? And we can even start to see that everything happening in life is energy, and then how that energy is interacting, right? And if we're aware of or into things like law of attraction, we can also see that the energy that we're in is absolutely transmitting out a signal and energy that other people can feel. Now I'm lighting some incense. And also likely attracting in back more of the same and creating like what we're experiencing in life, right? And so that's where we can see that we're tuning ourselves vibrationally at the core with all of this, and leaning into ways that we can raise our vibe, right? Yes, and manage our vibe, manage our energy, tune our energy, and yeah, get ourselves into a better feeling energy. Here's some incense for us too, we can see that we can use things like incense and sage to intentionally cleanse a space, right? And bring us into the moment more. And the scent and the senses are all ways that yogis and different practitioners over the ages have used things like burning incense as a mindfulness practice, right? As a way of bringing ourselves into the moment and engaging our senses, bringing ourselves even more into the body, right? So I'm burning some of this incense. It's like a citrus flavor to clear the air, clear the energy for us today. And yeah, for us to be aware that maybe with this full moon eclipse, if we want to embrace that energy now or in the coming days, or just in our lives ever, though, I really do feel like we can always have it be a powerful time for change. That yeah, we can be aware this is perhaps some heightened energy today. So we're going to just drop in, do some things to tune in to how we're doing, tune up how we're feeling in very simple, gentle ways, just here from where we're sitting. So you can sit if you want to be on the floor, grab yourself some pillows to sit on. If you want to be in a chair, that totally works too. Stay comfortable, shift, move your position as needed, because that's a way of being in tune with your body as well. It's not about, in my opinion, sitting uncomfortably and overriding those signals of pain. So welcome to our Tune You practice. We could even bring our hands into this prayer mudra. The mudras are another powerful tool from practices like yoga that are just hand positions, hand postures that add a mindfulness and an energy, right? And an intention. So we can think about this prayer pose that feels so powerful, doesn't it? As you just hold that there. And yeah, as part of our shift into more of a yoga mode, physically, we can just aim to start to relax more into our position. And again, shift around so you do feel comfortable, so you do feel symmetrical. That's just easier on the body, more aligned and supported with the right pillows and such, or chair position. And just, yeah, first focusing on relaxing more into the body, into your position. And even why don't we right away just start to relax that mind more, like it's just another muscle. And maybe start to become more aware of our breathing. And I've just been so impressed with the power of mindful breathing without even trying to change it. So see what that's like to just be with your breath, which you'll probably already start to breathe differently and quote unquote better. And again, notice how that feels to hold this mudra, just this powerful prayer mudra right at the center of your chest, in front of where we could say there's a heart chakra, right? Maybe the center of our being, and just feeling into that, letting that have its own effects, right? On your energy, on your awareness, on your attention, right? And then a lot of this is playing with our attention and coming into the moment more because we've decided to, right? And feeling into the body more, noticing how the body's feeling is a really beautiful way to start the practice. Check in with how we are actually doing so we can honor that and work with that. It's part of our yoga union, right? Relaxing more already helps. And even adding a little bit of a half smile to the face, as relaxing the face and jaw really relaxes the rest of the body and starts to tune the nervous system more towards calm, which I feel like we all can use these days. But adding a little half smile to the face sounds corny, but it actually sends a signal to the body, to the brain, to the nervous system that it's okay to relax, that it's safe. And it's really nice to add to our practices and our moments. A lot of these things are things we can bring right off the mat, right into the world, right into our days, into our moments of challenge, right? So adding things like just always focusing on relaxing more. It's going to be like the core of the practice, really. And even adding that little bit of half smile for yourself. Smiling yoga, Thich Nhat Hanh calls it. And it's a way we start to like give ourselves a sense of unconditional friendliness, which is really what we start to see we want to foster here while we're here with ourselves. Because as we get in more of a meditative mode, more of a listening mode, more of a mindful mode, we're going to start to notice more how we're doing, how we're feeling, how we're thinking, right? And so it's going to be ultra important. I'm coming to learn for myself and want to share with you to bring in that unconditional friendliness and kindness and compassion with what we're seeing and realizing when we're doing this noticing here, even today, right? So that smile is a way you can give yourself that energy of unconditional friendliness during your practice. So we're relaxing, we're breathing more, we're just noticing more and just coming into our senses more, playing with that attention, listening more to sounds, feeling more the sensations, and tuning that mind to just get better at being able to focus and listen more, which creates a quieting, right? And a lot of what we also get to play with in yoga is quieting that mind as a medicine, as a practice, as a rewire, right? It's actually so refreshing and boosts creativity and part of that relaxing. So that's where like relaxing that mind, relaxing the body throughout our practice is at the heart of what yoga is always teaching us. And why? Because the body feels better, functions better when it's relaxed. Often that mind is up to no good, right? Just like feeding the neuroses coming from our neuroses. So quieting it would be a good idea, calming it, relaxing it. And so while we're doing our yoga, we want to be practicing quieting the mind, playing with that, letting our practices do that. And I want to add what I get from Bentino Massaro, that just doing like 2 to 5 seconds of quieting, which is as much as a lot of us can do, but it really does do a lot. So maybe even here today, just playing with, as you're here with me, as you're listening, as you're in your senses, as you're breathing, as we're doing little movements, even holding this mudra, right? That we're in that mode, right? The listening, the relaxing more, the breathing. And that's what it's all going to make it more a form of yoga union, right? A time of that for us. So, okay, let's relax the arms down and just, we're just going to do some simple stuff that I know is safe for everybody. I'm outside, so we'll have some outside sounds. But because I don't know what your personal body situation is today, so I'm not going to do anything that is not safe for just about anybody. So just the simplest of stretching and ease into your neck and shoulders, letting it just be intuitive and relaxed and kind of curious, and adding some breathing. And now more breathing into the belly is really helpful. We could do shoulder rolls the other way. And starting to do longer, slower exhales. And starting to realize a lot of us are really excited about breath work, right? Maybe we can just stretch the neck a little bit. But recognizing we're doing a breath work throughout a physical practice of yoga, and bringing that breath into the body as the energy that it is, energy work, energy medicine, to use the breath and the energy of breath, the life force in breath, right? The oxygen that the breath brings in, and letting that feed us during the stretches, right? And breathing into tight places, knowing that's also like constricted energy, right? Which could be mind, body, spirit stuff. So breathing into those tight places, knowing your breath is doing that energy work for you, freeing that up, helping you let that go. And so that exhale is helping you release more and more of that tension, that tightness, stress, that old stuff, that stored trauma. So where it's exciting to realize how things like just the simplest of movements are helping us do all these things. And the more that we're doing it, more like every day. Right? And if you need to adjust your sitting position, I'm going to adjust already. Just listening to my body. Let's do a real gentle stretch for neck and shoulders. It should be safe for most bodies. Bringing the arms up overhead. Breathing, relaxing. Looking up. And you can see why a lot of the yoga practices are about helping the posture, because that is so important, helping us also open up through the neck and shoulders, release that, and creating more of an openness in the heart and chest. And we just now know that we function better, feel better, even physiologically, even emotionally, when we have that posture going on with the openness in the heart and chest versus that roundedness, which actually can start to create problems, lack of oxygen, and even feed into things like depression and anxiousness and lack of being able to breathe efficiently, right? So all these things that help our posture, help our breath, change our physiology, how our bodies function. Just so simple, right? So just that one. I also want you to know about this one, interlacing the hands behind the head, elbows back. And just this position for a minute or so is going to do some great work for your posture. You always want to breathe. You always want to relax. Even though you can feel like this one has some work to it across the upper back, you can even increase that gently by bringing your hand, elbows back a little bit more. And then check out relaxing face and jaw, even that little half smile, breathing, relaxing, letting this open up your posture and your heart center, right? And boosting your physiology, even boosting things like confidence. This kind of position really decreases anxiety as well. Good. Relax the arms down. Yeah, and then just any ways that you can, because we're sitting, just stretch out your legs, whether you're in a chair or on the floor, and just in your own gentle ways, just gently shake into them, move them about in just a way that it feels intuitively right for you right now. This is where you can start to see that it doesn't have to be very fancy what we're doing with the exercises, even though it can also be really powerful to do the right exercises for you. But with a generalized practice like this, we can do the simplest things and really see and feel some benefits. Great. And then change your position, sit a little longer, that works for you. Feel the shifts you're already feeling just by taking this time and intention and deciding to relax, to get more into your breath, use the simplest of movements and how it's all bringing you more mindful, right? And present and listening and quieting. Imagine that you can just relax your mind like another muscle. And of course, all of this you could be doing with your eyes closed or your eyes open. And all of this is a form of meditation. And so just like all forms of meditation, you can always have your eyes open or closed. But we're in that listening mode, just noticing how we're doing, how we're feeling throughout what's coming up, and having that unconditional friendliness with ourselves, that kindness and compassion. And one of the tools I want to share with you from a mindfulness practice that's kind of like helping us emotionally during our practices is when we're noticing things come up or what we might be feeling worried about, what's in life right now that's hard, which is some of what we may notice when we're practicing, right? When we take this time with ourselves. So some of the things we can do is just as we're noticing those feelings and, those truths for ourselves, just have some way with ourselves inside to say to ourselves or even out loud, this too, like this too is true. Yes, meaning like I'm ready to face this and feel this. And versus, because a lot of time what we're doing is kind of resisting those feelings and that awareness and saying like no to it. And that I've come to understand can really be such a different energy for us, right? And really just kind of tying it up more and making us feel worse. So instead, as part of our mindfulness practices, we can be, as we're noticing how we're feeling and doing in this moment during our practices and out in the day, be willing to say, instead of no, I don't want to feel that. I don't want to see that. Yes. And this too. And it's just a way to build that bridge with ourselves of unconditional friendliness to start to be more compassionate and kind. And then we can actually respond a lot differently, right? And from a better place when that's a way to like accept, I'm seeing where we're at and be able to move forward more. So using that with yourself, the yes and the this too, and all these things, I hope are things that you can bring into your daily life and practices as they resonate with you. So yes, as we're here, how about we'll just do a little bit more. Let's do a really simple classic breath practice that I love to share, that a simple version can have some powerful effects for centering us, calming us, definitely nervous system based, but also helps us rewire the brain more towards calm and focus and a sense of center and calm, which I think can just be nice, right? At this time of this lunar eclipse, or whenever you're catching this, though, it's always going to be a good practice. And actually, though, first I think we should do a few of the lion breaths just to help us really enjoy that this could be a time to release some stuff. So if at this full moon time you're aware of some things you're ready to shift and release and change, then let's do two different things to officially release that I like to do these days. So first, let's just use one simple tapping idea that will blend with some words that I get from Louise Hay. So this is just going to be, and this is just using some like reflexology, energy medicine of EFT, the emotional freedom technique. I think that's what it stands for. And I'm not officially trained in that, but I do love to use it with myself. And it's going to just start being part of what I share with you because it's part of my yoga. So how I like to do it, how I've learned is seeing that this is this side of the hand place is one of those energy spots that can be helpful to be engaging. And a lot of this is just even engaging the placebo effect, right? Of just doing this intentionally to believe we can release some stuff, right? So if there's some patterns in you and in your life that you're ready to release that no longer serve you, and part of this is taking an ownership that these are patterns even that we've created, right? And that we've been in, that have been creating these conditions in our lives, whatever they may be, that we want to change and that we're willing to change. So I'm going to just lead you through this, and how you can do is follow me and say it out loud yourself. So we're going to be tapping the side of the hand here, and we want to be relaxed and breathing with our little half smile. And so we could say, I now release. And you can say that yourself, I now release these patterns within me that I have created in my life that no longer serve me. I would say again, I now release these patterns within me that I've created in my life that no longer serve me. Or I create these conditions in my life, or have created these conditions in my life that no longer serve me. I'm willing to change. And Louise Hay says it's powerful to like touch our throat, knowing that's like a powerful bridge between heart and mind and expression to say, I'm willing to change, right? And so just letting that be one ritual we can do right now with whatever we feel like we're ready to release. And maybe it's just like ways of being, like anxiety, stress, worry, fear, or, habits. I don't know, maybe that you know what it is for you, I think, right now. And then let's do that lion's breath, which is this idea that we're helping like churn up, free up, release some of this energy within us. It's involved with some of what we're ready to release. So we're going to, as we take a breath in, just imagine that we're bringing that energy up, whatever we're ready to let go of and release, thoughts, memories, feelings, whatever it is, right? We're bringing that up with our inhale. And then as we exhale, we're going to be releasing that intentionally through a funny face and a breath that's going to have a tongue sticking out like that. And then looking up at the third eye here between the eyebrows. So let's do just a few of those, a few lion's breaths, and we'll just do them quietly. You can do them loud. You can do it loud too, like that. And you'll even yell it if you want, but let's just do a few. So let's first take a big breath in, churning up, bringing up, we're ready to release. Ah. Let's do another one. Ah. And one more. And you can be as loud or quiet as you want to be. Just bring up even more of what you're ready to release right now. Ah. Great. And I hope you enjoyed that image if you watched me do that. Great. And now let's just take a centering breath in between. One more prayer mudra. Let that integrate. And again, just practice quieting, being, relaxing, relaxing, relaxing. Relaxation is the primary technique. Really through it all, right? Just keep coming back to relaxing, relaxing. If that's the one lesson we can get from yoga, it's relax, 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 right? Okay, so let's do a little alternate nostril breath to get centered and aligned as part of our yoga today and our reset and refresh and rewire at this powerful time. So sitting in a way that's nice and aligned and supported for energy flow. We always want to be breathing more into the belly for this. And this one is going to use the nostrils. We're going to do the alternate nostril breath, and we're going to do a real simple mudra. You could call it the hang loose mudra. Coming from California, this is my version of this mudra for this. So we're going to block one nostril, the right nostril. We traditionally start and end on the left. And we're just going to do a short version of this, about a minute. You want to be relaxed. And now we're going to take a deep breath into the belly just through that left nostril. Eyes open or closed. Now block your left nostril with your pinky and exhale right side. Inhale right side. Block the right with the thumb. Exhale left. Remember your relaxed face and a little half smile. Inhale left. Block the left with the pinky. Exhale right. Inhale right. Block the right with the thumb. Exhale left. Let's just do one more round. I would start and end on the left. One more left. Block the left with the pinky. Exhale right. Relaxing. Inhale right. Block the right. Exhale left. And now drop the hands into the lap. Take a big breath through both nostrils. And slowly exhale everything out through the mouth. Let's just hold at the end of the exhale as long as it feels comfortable. Relax. And then when your body's ready to take a breath, breathe in. Just exhale everything out. Let's come back to our prayer mudra and just notice how you feel. Relax. Breathe just mindfully. Notice how good it feels to just be with your breath. And that's a really great tool for us that I've been getting into more than ever, just conscious, mindful breathing, not even trying to change it. And especially with like dealing with our emotions, our feelings throughout the day. And again, knowing it's all energy, just mindful breathing. And that relaxing is the primary technique. And knowing that as we do this, we are raising our vibe, right? We are changing our energy. We are shifting our energy. We are amplifying our energy. And that's all part of the yoga, part of the union. And just feel and notice if you're feeling more centered, more relaxed, more connected to yourself, more connected to your body, more connected to this moment. I hear the parrots overhead. More connected to feeling relaxed, more connected to your breath, right? And maybe letting yourself like wake up into this moment with your senses again and again and again, right? Listening, feeling, gazing into wherever you're at, just checking out your scene, letting it bring you presence. And let's just come towards a close with some of that amazingly powerful gratitude, which is just like one of the biggest vibrational tools yet, I noticed. So just maybe bringing to mind something you're thankful for in your beautiful life. Thinking about it, feeling about it, knowing that vibe is the best. Staying in that focus. So I think I'll call it to a close. And I'm so thankful to share this practice with you today. Appreciate you being here. Hope this was helpful to you. And please reach out if you have any questions, if you want any guidance, especially with like home practices. Love to help you through that. So until we meet again, you out there, happy full moon, lunar eclipse, or whenever you're catching this. Enjoy what's next. And thanks for being here with me. Sending you so much love. Namaste.